Elena had made many mistakes in her career as a xenobiologist, but agreeing to babysit 3 Kalari cubs aboard the research vessel Prometheus might have been her worst yet. The Kalari were a species of feline-like aliens whose curiosity was matched only by their complete inability to follow instructions. Their homeworld had been discovered only 2 cycles ago, and the galactic community was still deciding whether they were ready for advanced technology. Looking at the 3 pairs of luminous eyes staring up at her from the doorway of the human engineering bay, Elena suspected the answer was a resounding no. "Listen carefully," Elena said, crouching down to their level. The cubs, Rin, Kessa, and Torm, tilted their heads in unison, their triangular ears perked forward. "This is the most important rule. Don't touch anything. Do you understand? Nothing. Not a single button, lever, switch, or glowing thing." Rin, the oldest and boldest of the 3, chittered something in their native tongue. The translator implant in Elena's ear rendered it as, "Understood completely, Elder Elena. We shall observe with eyes only." Elena narrowed her eyes. In her 6 months working with the Kalari, she'd learned that understood completely usually meant, "I heard sounds coming from your mouth, but my brain was already planning something else. I mean it. Rin, some of this equipment can tear holes in space-time. Others can flash freeze you solid. That panel over there," she pointed to a glowing console covered in warning labels in 17 different languages, "controls the ship's gravitational stabilizers. If you mess with it, we could all end up as pancakes or floating through the hull." The 3 cubs nodded solemnly. Too solemnly, Elena sighed. "I have to run to the bridge for 10 minutes. Captain's orders. Can I trust you 3 to sit here and not move?" "Absolutely, Elder Elena," Rin chirped. "We are statues of great stillness." The moment Elena's footsteps faded down the corridor, Rin turned to the others, whiskers twitching with excitement. "Did you hear that, siblings? The human has presented us with the most magnificent research opportunity in Kalari history." Kessa, smaller and more cautious, wrapped her tail around her legs nervously. "But Rin," Elder Elena said. "She said this equipment is powerful." Rin interrupted, golden eyes gleaming. "She described reality-altering devices, thermal manipulation technology, gravitational control systems, and she has graciously left us alone to begin our scientific investigation." Torm, the largest but least bright of the trio, nodded enthusiastically. "Research. The elders will sing songs of our discoveries." "That's not what she meant," Kessa protested weakly, but Rin was already bounding toward the nearest console. "Observe," Rin declared, standing on hind legs to examine a panel covered in blinking lights. "The humans use a binary communication system, lights that activate and deactivate. Primitive yet elegant. I wonder what knowledge we can extract if we simply—" A paw reached out. "Rin, no," Kessa squeaked. Rin pressed a button. The lights in the engineering bay shifted from warm white to angry red. A klaxon began wailing somewhere in the distance. "Fascinating," Rin shouted over the noise. "The humans have installed an auditory alert system. Perhaps this is how they communicate danger to their young." Torm had wandered to a different console, one with a large lever marked with yellow and black stripes. "Rin, look at this. The humans have color-coded their equipment. This must be important." He grabbed the lever with both paws and pulled. The gravity cut out. All 3 cubs floated upward, yowling in surprise and delight. Equipment, tools, and tablets drifted alongside them like a technological asteroid field. "Amazing," Rin shouted, spinning in midair. "The humans can control the fundamental forces of nature." "Kessa, we must document this." Kessa, clinging to a floating wrench with all 4 paws, was less enthusiastic. "We're going to die. Elder Elena is going to kill us, or the ship will kill us. Or—" Whatever else Kessa was going to say was cut off by Elena's voice, amplified through the intercom system to be heard over the alarms. "Engineering Bay. What in the name of Earth's 7 hells is happening down there?" Rin, with the confidence of someone who hadn't yet grasped the severity of their situation, grabbed a floating communication panel and pressed what looked like a response button. "Elder Elena, we are conducting important research into human technology. So far we have discovered your species has mastered artificial gravity manipulation and—" The gravity suddenly slammed back on. All 3 cubs, along with every floating object in the bay, crashed to the deck in a cacophony of yelps, clangs, and crashes. Rin landed directly on Torm, who had landed on Kessa, creating a pile of groaning, furry bodies. The door to the engineering bay hissed open with such force that it seemed to express Elena's rage mechanically. The human stood in the doorway, hair disheveled, eyes wild, looking like some ancient earth deity of wrath. "I was gone," Elena said, her voice dangerously quiet, "for 8 minutes." Rin disentangled from the pile and sat up, trying to look dignified despite having a human tablet stuck to one ear. "Elder Elena, our research has been most productive. We have confirmed that human technology is indeed—" "You set off the coolant leak alarm," Elena interrupted, counting on her fingers. "You disengaged the artificial gravity, and according to the readouts I'm seeing," she glanced at a data pad, "you somehow activated the espresso machine in the galley, which is on a completely different deck and not even connected to this system." "That was the espresso machine?" Torm whispered in awe. "I thought we had discovered human propulsion technology." Elena pinched the bridge of her nose, a gesture the cubs had learned meant the human is contemplating violence, but her species' social contracts prevent it. "Get out," Elena said finally. "All 3 of you. Go to the observation deck and count stars. Count all of them. Don't come back until you can tell me the exact number." The cubs scrambled toward the door, but Rin paused at the threshold, looking back with those impossibly wide golden eyes. "Elder Elena, will you show us how the systems work?"
"Properly, with supervision."
Despite everything, Elena felt a smile tugging at her lips. This was why humanity had been chosen as the Kalari's first contact species, not because humans were the strongest or the smartest, but because they recognized that insatiable curiosity, that need to touch every button and ask every question, was something they shared. "Maybe," Elena admitted, "after you repair everything you broke, and write a 5,000-word essay on why following safety protocols matters." "Deal," Rin chirped and scampered after the others. As Elena surveyed the chaos of her engineering bay, she couldn't help but laugh. The Kalari cubs had touched everything she'd told them not to, conducted research that would take hours to clean up, and somehow made her glad they existed. Humanity, she thought, was going to get along with these aliens just fine.